And I can't wait so we can break apart to hear me if I seem a little unimpressed with this. An antisocial pessimist, but usually I don't mess with it.
Hey guys, Mankind here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to use Alchemy to craft potions and put them into the Obliterum forge and turn them into ash, and then take that ash and turn it into Obliterum and sell that on the auction house for a profit. Now, you will need a few things to do this. First thing is you will have to have the Obliterum forge unlocked, and you will have to have rank 3 of the Ancient Healing Potion for Alchemy. You get rank 3 just by creating the potions at rank 2, and you'll get the proc and you'll use it in your bag. Now, rank 3 gives you the chance to create multiple potions, and you definitely want that because that is going to increase your profits substantially from having rank 2. Now, to get started, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be scanning the auction house for the materials, the Yssarline seeds, and we're going to just craft the potions and throw them in the forge. Now, we don't want to just go to the auction house and just grab all the seeds that we can without knowing what price should we pay for the seeds, what's too much, and you can never pay too little. But I'm going to show you guys how to make just a couple groups and a few things in TSM. That way we can kind of streamline all this so we can come and check the auction house regularly and buy these items at the correct price. The first thing I'm going to do is open up TSM, and I'm going to start off by creating a custom price source for Obliterum. And don't worry about any of the TSM stuff that you guys are going to see me do on the screen. You can follow along with me, but I am going to post all the strings and imports in the description box down below, so you guys can just go ahead and import everything. But try and follow along. It's everything will make sense at the end of the video, I promise. But with this custom price source, what I'm going to be doing is taking the average of 3 different price sources for Obliterum and averaging them together, so that we get a fairly stable and fairly reliable price to use for Obliterum. And to do that, I'm going to do the average of the DB, let me see, the region sale average, how much these items sell for throughout the region on average. And that is for the item, and the item number is 124125 for Obliterum. And I'm going to be using the DB region, the market average, 124125, and lastly the DB market value. Okay, there, our custom price source is set for Obliterum. That is just going to save us from having to type this whole string in like 5 or 6 different places. We just make the custom price source, and that's easy. If you don't really understand custom price sources too much, I will post a link above here that you guys can check out for my custom price source video if you want a little bit better understanding on how these work. Carrying on, I'm going to make a couple groups. Actually, I already created these. I'm going to go ahead and delete these just to show you guys what I got going on here. Okay, so the first group is going to be Legion Herbs. And in this group, all I'm going to be doing is putting in the Yssarline seeds, which is item number, I got it written down here, 128304. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to create one more group for Obliterum. And that item number is 124125. Okay, so now I have my 2 groups. Not to get too far ahead of myself, but what I'm doing here is I'm making a group for Yssarline seeds that we are going to be attaching a shopping operation to, so we can go to the auction house, scan for the seeds under a set price that we're going to place, and we buy all the quantity that we need without spending too much money. And then after we craft the potions and we hit them through the Obliterum forge and we create our Obliterum, then we're going to make an auctioning operation for our Obliterum so we can sell it at the correct price. That is in a nutshell what we are doing. Okay, so we created our 2 groups and our custom price source. Now we're going to create a couple operations. The first one is going to be a shopping operation, and I'm going to name this 50% Obliterum. And okay, and what this is going to be doing is we are going to take the average price of Obliterum, a percentage of it, half of it to be exact, and then we are going to divide that by how many Euceroline seeds it takes to create one Obliterum, and that's how we're going to get our price for one seed. And to do that, we're going to do 50%, front my parenthesis at front, of Obliterum. Okay, and we're going to divide that by the magic number of 180. Find my parenthesis button here. Okay. Nope, I forgot something. I need 2 parentheses. Okay. You're going to be asking yourself, well, why 180? What is 180? Okay. Bear with me while I explain it. It takes 4 Euceroline seeds to create 1 potion. With rank 3 of the Ancient Healing Potion, we have a proc to make up to, usually it's up to 5. I have procced it for 10, which I think is really rare, and I think that was a bug. I've never seen that before except for once. But anyways, on average, we can assume that every time we hit create an Ancient Healing Potion, we are going to craft 1.5 potions every time on average. Okay, it takes 1 potion to put in the Obliterum Forge, and on average, every time we obliterate 1 potion, we are going to get 1.5 ash. It takes 100 ash to make 1 Obliterum. Okay, so if 1 potion gives us 1.5 ash, it's going to take approximately 67 potions to make 1 Obliterum by giving us 100 ash. Okay, so if we need 67 potions, how many do we have to craft with the proc to get us 67? Well, on average, okay, if we craft 45 potions and we get an average proc of 1.5, we should get 67 potions for crafting 45. Okay, so if we need 45 potions times 4 seeds a potion, it's 180. Will we need more than that? Maybe. But it shouldn't be very much more. We may need less. It depends on our luck. But on average, 180 seeds. And that's where this 180 comes from. This is our magic number that's going to determine the price that we're going to pay for seeds. To finish up this operation, I always click Show Auctions Above Max Price. That way I can see what all the auctions are selling for. And I'm going to set my restock quantity. That way when I'm buying, once I hit my cap, it stops buying. Now, in this video, I'm going to be buying enough to make 1 Obliterum. So I'm going to set it at 180. If you wanted to create, you want to try and do 3, 4, 5, whatever, it would just do it in multiples of 180. Okay. We'll do 180 to start. Now, onto the auctioning operations. This is pretty basic. I'm going to do a 1-to-1, Obliterum. Make sure this match stack size is unchecked. Medium duration. I'm going to do a SpostCap of 3. Stack size of 1. Leave all this other stuff at default here. 94%, and I undercut by 4 copper. If you guys aren't too familiar with auctioning operations, I will post a link above here for my TSM video number 2, where I kind of go in depth on a lot of this. Bear with me here. For our minimum price, I'm going to set this to 70% of our price source, which is Obliterum. Our maximum price, I'm going to do 300%. And normal price, if there's none on the auction house, we'll sell ours for, if I can hit the right key, 150%. Now, when the auctions are below our minimum, I'm going to post at minimum, and above maximum, post at maximum. Okay. What I'm going to do now is go to management. I'm going to duplicate this operation into a 1-to-7 Obliterum. and make sure that the SmatchStackSize box is checked, and change the PostCap to if you have that much Obliterum, we can, no, excuse me, I'm going to leave this at 1 and the stack size at 7. 1 and 7. The stuff all stays the exact same. Allow partial stacks, make sure that's unchecked. Okay, now we're going to just hook up these operations to our groups. Go to groups, Legion Herbs, operations, and this is for shopping. So add the shopping operation, 50% Obliterum, and we'll go up to our Obliterum operations. Now I'm going to add both operations, the first one being the 1 to 7, and then I'm going to hit add additional operation and then do 1 to 1. Now if you haven't seen this before, what this is going to do is if I have 7 Obliterum, it's going to check and say, okay, I have 7 Obliterum, I'm going to post 1 stack of 7. Okay, and then any additional, I'm going to go down to operation number 2, which is stacks of 1, which I have a post cap set at 3. So if I had 10 Obliterum, I'm going to post 1 stack of 7 and 3 stacks of 1. Now the reason I do this is it takes 7 Obliterum to take an item from its base level of 815 to 850. So some people will come to the auction house and say, I need 7 to upgrade, and they will just go through and buy 7, even if the price is higher. If nobody else has a stack of 7 and I sell mine and I put them on there for a higher price, don't be surprised when you sell them because somebody just doesn't want to click the buyout thing 7 times. Some people don't use add-ons and it takes them longer, so they'll just buy 7. So that's why I do that. You don't have to. That's just my preference. So our operations are hooked up. The hard part is over. Now what we're going to do is go to the auction house, and if you're an engineer like me, you can use the steam-powered auctioneer. If not, you'll have to go to RMR. And you're going to go to your, if you're not on it already, just go to your shopping tab. Make sure Legion Herbs is selected. Hit Start Search. And it's going to search all of the cerealine seeds. Now, the big thing we want to do is make sure that this is filtered for max price. So you can click on this so that the top one is our lowest percentage. Now, what this means is percentage. This is the percent of the 50% maximum that we had set in our shopping operation. So don't be concerned with it too much. All you really need to know is that anything under 100%, we're not going to lose profit. If you need to buy, if you get to where you need a couple more and you have to buy some that are 101, 105, you're not going to lose tons of gold, but you are just shrinking your profit margin, a little bit. But buying stuff that's like 150, you're better off just to come back to the auction house later or try and get some from somebody in trade chat that's going to sell it to you at a decent price. So now all we're going to do is I'm just going to, I have my macro set up in TSM. If you don't know how to do that or you haven't had that set up, all you do is go to macro setup, have the post and cancel ones checked, and then these 3 here for buyout, cancel, and then scroll wheel up, down, and control, hit the create macro and bind scroll wheel. And then all you have to do is hold control and scroll over this buyout and just keep scrolling. And I just bought a stack of 200 because it was the cheapest, and I only needed 140, so it's not going to let me buy anymore. I've already hit my cap, and it will print out a thing in your chat that says purchase the maximum quantity. Now, that is the way that TSM works. If you're only trying to buy 140, but the cheapest stack is 200, it's going to let you buy that stack, and then it's not going to let you buy anymore. So you're never really going to get truly 140 unless the cheapest ones are all in stacks of 1. So just be aware of that. So it's pretty easy. I spent 3,400 gold and I bought more than I needed, but it's not going to matter. I've got my seeds. Now I need to come in here to the alchemy supplies, make sure I've got enough crystal vials. I just buy a bunch of these. And you'll notice down here on my bar, my ancient healing potion, I don't currently have any in my bags. Ancient healing potions. So, okay, I've got enough seeds to make 50, but we're gonna try and just make the base 45 potions and see if we get the procs we need, because we need to end up with 67 potions. That's what we're trying to shoot for, is just get enough to craft 1 Obliterum. You really can just do it all, but just for the purposes of this video, I want to try and get as close to the 1 as I can. And I'll speed this up for the crafting. Well, as you guys can see, my procs were pretty bad, and I wound up making an extra 5, and I still didn't get enough, because I hardly got any procs at all, because Blizzard hates me, because I'm recording a video. So I'm just going to come back here, and I'm just going to buy enough seeds to make, I need 5 more potions. So I only need 20 seeds, and there's 20. Sometimes that's going to happen when you're doing this, and sometimes it's not. But that's what happens when you're doing it on proc base. Oops. I'll create my last 5. And I'll probably get procs here. Yeah, the first one procced, of course. But that's the way it goes, because then the next time I do it and make an Obliterum, I could get a whole bunch of procs. Okay, so I've got 70. And so far, and that one cost me 350. So how much did I spend the first time? I spent 3,750 gold. Now all we're going to do is come over to the Obliterum Forge, open it up, and there's a couple tricks to doing this. Actually, before we open this, there is a macro, and I found this on Reddit. Thank you to whoever put that up, and I will post this in the description below. What you're going to do is just make a macro and post this in here. I've already got it set up for Ancient Healing Potion. If you do this to obliterate other items, all you're going to do is the Ancient Healing Potion part of it. You just delete that part out. Keep the parentheses. And then in your bags, just shift click the item you're going to obliterate, and it will put it in there. And I've already got this dragged down to my bar to number 8. Another tip when doing this is if you have your open loot window at mouse checked, this is going to make it easier, because Obliterum, the ash, does not auto loot. The first one does, and then after that you have to click on it every time. And as you'll notice, the first one will automatically go into my bag. And there's my Obliterum ash. And all you do is you press the button for the macro, click obliterate, comes up, and then you do have to click the loot. And you just repeat until you are completely out. Until you get 100 ash. So I'm going to obliterate this stuff, and I'll speed the video up. Okay guys, I currently have 100 Obliterum ash. I did not have to obliterate all my potions that I created. I only had to, let me see, I started with 70 and I have 6 left, so it only cost me, what's that, 64? Yeah, so I only had to use 64 potions into the forge, and the average was 67. So I actually did pretty good at the forge, and I didn't have to make any more potions. So all you have to do is right click the 100 Obliterum ash, and that will turn that into 1 Obliterum. Okay, which if I look at my TSM auctionings, the minimum I'll sell this for is 4,700 gold, and we spent 3,700 gold to make it, and we still have a couple extra potions that I can turn into more ash going towards my next one. So I mean, that's 1,000 gold profit, and it's really not too much work. It only takes a few minutes once you have it set up to just scan the auction house, buy your herbs. You know, you can AFK while you're crafting your potions, and the longest part is just using the Obliterum Forge, but the macro really helps. So I'll just go over here and post this on the auction house. and I believe these are selling for about 5k right now on my server. Mine's pretty high pop, so. And you'll notice that, let me see, my 1 to a 7, I don't have enough in my bag, so it's just going to go right down to the next one, and I'm going to undercut at 5100 gold. So I mean, if I sell that for 5k and it only cost me 3700 to create it, and I do that every time, that's really win-win. And I mean, I'm posting these at, well, it's 12 o'clock p.m. It's just after lunchtime. I'll rescan the auction house tonight around 4 or 5 o'clock when everybody's online after work and ready to buy this stuff, especially since we have the raid coming out next week. So these things are going to sell pretty good. If you stuck through the entire video and you're not confused, please leave me a comment down below. I'd like to hear what you guys say. I hope this video helped you out in some way, at least understanding how to use the Obliterum Forge and how to try and buy materials and flip them to make some profit without actually having to go and farm these materials yourself. But thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.